This audio is designed for relaxation, sleep, and gentle mental imagery only. Do not listen to this recording while driving, operating machinery, or performing any activity that requires full attention and alertness.
Take a moment to settle into the position where your body feels most supported. There is nothing you need to change, nothing you need to achieve. Just notice the simple fact that you are here and that this moment is safe.
With each gentle breath, allow the body to soften naturally. The shoulders release their weight, the jaw loosens, the space behind the eyes begins to rest. There is no effort required. Your nervous system already knows how to unwind. As your breathing finds its own slow rhythm, imagine a quiet inner space opening within you. A place where you do not need to perform, prove, or protect. In this space, your mind can rest while something deeper within you remains steady and calm. You may notice thoughts drifting in and out, and that is perfectly fine. There is no need to follow them. Simply let them pass like distant echoes fading into silence. Your awareness can remain gently anchored in the feeling of being supported, held, and at ease. You may notice thoughts drifting in and out, and that is perfectly fine. There is no need to follow them. Simply let them pass, like distant echoes fading into silence. Your awareness can remain gently anchored in the feeling of being supported, held, and at ease. As the body continues to rest, you may become aware of how the mind likes to stay alert, always scanning, always thinking. Tonight, there is no need for that vigilance. Nothing requires your attention. Nothing needs to be solved or understood. You can allow thoughts to slow without pushing them away. There is no battle here. Instead, imagine turning down a dimmer switch inside the mind, gently lowering the intensity of mental activity. Each breath naturally softens the edges of thought, making them quieter, less urgent. If a thought appears, you can acknowledge it without engagement, as if noticing a cloud drifting across a dark sky. You do not need to follow it. You do not need to finish it. The mind can learn to rest in the spaces between thoughts where calm already exists. As this quiet spreads, the nervous system receives a signal of safety. The overactive patterns that once felt automatic begin to loosen. Your mind does not need to be empty, only less involved. Awareness can remain while thinking fades into the background. And in this softened state, a gentle confidence begins to form. The confidence of knowing that you do not need to control your mind in order to rest. That calm arises naturally when effort is released. And with each passing moment, the mind becomes more receptive to stillness, drifting further toward sleep. As the mind grows quieter, you may begin to notice a gentle distance forming between you and your thoughts. They are still there at times, but they no longer feel personal or demanding. Like sounds heard from another room, they can exist without needing your response. You are not required to analyze, interpret, or resolve anything right now. Thoughts can rise and fade on their own, without meaning, without consequence. Your awareness can remain untouched, resting behind the flow of mental activity. Imagine placing each thought on a slow-moving stream, watching it drift away without effort. There is no need to push it downstream. The current moves naturally, carrying everything forward while you remain still and supported. In this state of detachment, the mind begins to learn something new, that it does not need to stay active in order to protect you, that rest is safe, that letting go does not mean losing control. It means allowing balance to return. And as this separation deepens, a subtle inner power becomes noticeable, a quiet stability that exists beneath thinking, unchanged by thoughts, emotions, or memories. You may not need to name it or understand it. Simply sense it as the mind continues to loosen and sleep draws closer. As the mind continues to soften, the body begins its own quiet work. There is an intelligence within you that knows how to restore balance without direction or force. You do not need to guide this process. You only need to allow it. Notice the natural rhythm of your breathing, slow and unhurried. With each exhale, imagine the body releasing what it no longer needs to hold. Tension dissolves. Old strain loosens. Nothing is being fixed. Everything is simply returning to its natural state. Healing does not require concentration. It happens most easily when awareness becomes gentle and non-demanding. In this state, the nervous system settles into a deeper level of rest, where repair and renewal occur quietly in the background. You may sense warmth, heaviness, or a subtle drifting sensation throughout the body. These experiences are not something to analyze. They are signs of the system entering a restorative mode, where effort fades and natural balance takes over. And as this process continues, you can trust that whatever needs rest will rest. Whatever needs release will release. Your role is simply to remain comfortable, supported, and open to this gentle unfolding as sleep deepens naturally. As the body rests more deeply, something steady within you remains quietly awake, not alert in a sharp way, but present in a calm, grounded sense. This is an inner strength that does not need to prove itself or take action. You may notice a feeling of being settled in yourself, as if everything is exactly where it needs to be. There is no pressure to become anything different. Confidence in this state is simply the absence of inner resistance. This quiet inner power does not come from effort or control. It comes from allowing yourself to be as you are, without judgment
or expectation. The mind can slow, the body can rest, and this steady presence remains unchanged beneath it all. As you continue to drift, imagine this sense of stability spreading gently through your system. Not energizing, not stimulating, just grounding, like standing on solid ground after a long journey. And in this grounded state, the subconscious mind begins to absorb a simple understanding that you are capable, that you are resilient, that you do not need to be awake to hold this strength. It remains with you as the mind softens further and sleep deepens. As your awareness becomes more diffuse, you may notice how the mind sometimes holds on to things long after they are needed. Old concerns, old emotions, old patterns of reaction. Tonight, there is no need to carry them with you into sleep. You do not have to revisit the past or understand what is being released. Letting go can happen without memory, without analysis, simply by allowing the mind to loosen its grip. Imagine these attachments as gentle weights resting on the body. Not heavy, just unnecessary. With each slow breath out, allow one of those weights to soften and slip away on its own. Nothing is forced, nothing is pushed. As attachments release, a sense of spaciousness begins to appear inside. More room to breathe, more room to rest. The mind does not need to hold everything together anymore. You may notice a quiet relief, subtle and calm. This is not emptiness, it is freedom from carrying what no longer serves you. And as this release continues, the subconscious mind learns that it is safe to let go, safe to rest, safe to sleep deeply and peacefully. As everything within you continues to slow, awareness no longer needs a clear center. Thoughts drift further apart. Sensations soften into the background. The boundary between waking and sleeping becomes less defined. In this state, the subconscious mind becomes more receptive. It absorbs calm, stability, and quiet confidence without effort. Nothing needs to be remembered. Nothing needs to be held on to consciously. You may experience moments where time feels distorted or absent. This is a natural sign of deepening rest. The mind is learning to remain relaxed while sleep unfolds naturally around it. Allow yourself to drift in and out of awareness. There is no need to stay present. Even if the words fade, their effect continues gently in the background, guiding the system toward deeper restoration. And as sleep becomes more continuous,
the mind and body align in a quiet harmony. Rest becomes effortless, stillness becomes familiar, and the subconscious integrates this sense of calm and inner strength, carrying it forward through the night and into tomorrow.
Now, there is no need to follow the words closely. They can fade into the background like a distant sound that no longer asks for attention. Your body already knows how to remain asleep, how to rest deeply, how to stay comfortable through the night.
Breathing continues on its own, slow and natural. Each breath gently supports the rhythm of sleep, allowing the mind to remain quiet and undisturbed. Nothing needs to change. Nothing needs to happen. Breathing continues on its own, slow and natural. Each breath gently supports the rhythm of sleep, allowing the mind to remain quiet and undisturbed. Nothing needs to change. Nothing needs to happen. From time to time, the subconscious mind may notice a soft reminder of calm, a sense of safety, a quiet inner strength that remains present even as awareness drifts far away. These impressions do not wake you, they simply reinforce rest. If you move, if you shift, if awareness briefly returns, that is perfectly fine. The mind can easily return to sleep, guided by familiarity and ease. Rest has become the default state now. And as the night continues, this calm presence remains with you, holding the body in comfort, holding the mind in stillness, allowing sleep to deepen, stretch, and renew itself moment by moment, hour by hour, until rest feels complete. There is nothing you need to listen to now. The sound of this voice can simply exist, soft and distant, like a quiet presence in the background. Your body remains supported. Breathing continues naturally. Sleep unfolds on its own, without interruption. Each gentle pause reinforces a sense of safety. Each slow rhythm reminds the subconscious that rest is allowed and protected. There is no urgency, no need to wake, no need to respond. If awareness briefly returns, it can drift away again just as easily. The mind recognizes this space now, a familiar, comfortable stillness where sleep continues uninterrupted. Confidence, calm, and inner balance remain quietly integrated beneath the surface. They do not require attention. They simply remain stable and unchanged as the night moves forward. And as time stretches and softens, the body rests deeply. The mind remains calm. Sleep continues naturally, peacefully, without effort. Nothing needs to happen. Breathing continues, slow, natural, effortless. The body already knows how to sleep deeply. The mind already knows how to remain quiet. There is no message to remember, no instruction to follow, only a soft rhythm, a gentle presence that allows sleep to continue undisturbed. Long pauses are comfortable here. Silence feels safe. Stillness feels familiar. If a thought appears, it fades on its own. If awareness surfaces, it sinks back down naturally. Sleep remains stable, deep, continuous, and the night moves forward without effort. You do not need to listen anymore. The sound of this voice is distant now, soft, unimportant. Breathing continues on its own. The body remains comfortable. Sleep remains steady and uninterrupted. Long stretches of silence are natural here. They support rest. They protect sleep. If awareness briefly returns, it recognizes familiarity and drifts back down without effort. There is nothing to remember, nothing to respond to, only rest, deep, continuous. And as the night continues, sleep holds you gently through each hour, until rest is complete. Everything continues exactly as it should. Breathing flows in a slow, steady rhythm. The body remains heavy, supported, and relaxed. There is no transition to make, no shift required. Sleep is already happening, and it continues naturally. Silence between sounds feels normal now, comfortable, familiar. The subconscious remains calm and settled, holding a quiet sense of balance and inner stability beneath the surface. Nothing needs attention. Rest continues, deep, unbroken. Time has softened. Hours pass without notice. The body remains at ease, adjusting gently when needed, then sinking back into rest. The mind stays quiet, undisturbed, unengaged. If awareness briefly appears, it recognizes safety and fades again. Sleep does not need guidance anymore. It sustains itself. Confidence, calm, and release remain integrated below conscious awareness, steady and unchanged throughout the night. Nothing pulls you outward. Nothing asks you to wake. The night carries you forward, smoothly, peacefully. As the night continues, rest remains complete. There is no rush toward waking. The body restores itself quietly. The nervous system stays settled and balanced. Even as the hours move closer to morning, sleep remains deep and protected. Awareness stays distant. Thought
stays inactive. This state is familiar now, safe, easy, and for as long as sleep is needed, it continues uninterrupted, allowing the night to finish its work fully, gently, naturally.